Who regrets more after a breakup, the one who leaves or the one who gets left? Psychology tells us that breakups aren't just emotionally painful, they're physically painful too. The part of the brain responsible for processing pain lights up, constantly reminding you of the separation. Breakups generally fall into two categories: initiating the breakup and being the one who gets broken up with. These two scenarios lead to very different emotional journeys. So, who regrets it more, the person who was dumped or the one who did the dumping? Let's break it down. For the person who got dumped, Stage 1, denial and shock. When the breakup happens, it feels like their world just got flipped upside down. They're stunned, unable to process what's happening. For the first week or two, they're in a daze, walking around like a zombie. They feel an overwhelming urge to reach out to their ex, desperate to reconnect with someone they once felt so close to. Sometimes, they'll pick up their phone, only to realize, wait, we're not together anymore. They're stuck in a loop of disbelief, asking themselves, did this really happen? Is this a bad dream? Stage 2, emotional chaos. At this point, their emotions are all over the place. They might act impulsively, going out drinking, revisiting places they used to go with their ex, or flooding their ex's phone with messages and calls. They're clinging to the hope of reconciliation, like someone drowning, grabbing for anything to stay afloat. They'll do anything to hold on to the relationship, even though they know deep down it's over. Stage 3, acceptance and calm. It usually takes at least a month to fully accept the breakup and around 3 months to emotionally stabilize. By this stage, they're starting to move on. They're no longer obsessing or lashing out. Instead, they're learning to mask their feelings, and their love for their ex gradually turns into indifference or even resentment. For the person who initiated the breakup, Stage 1, freedom and relief. The person who initiates the breakup usually does so for several reasons. They've fallen out of love. They're bored, they found someone new, or they just can't see a future with their partner. Initially, they feel a sense of freedom like a bird escaping from a cage. It's an exciting time to embrace single life, full of new possibilities. It's like graduating. There's joy, excitement, and a bit of nervousness about what's next. Stage 2, reflection. After the initial relief fades, the reality sets in. They start to reflect. They might wonder if they made the right decision. Thoughts like, are they mad at me? Might creep into their mind. But they quickly brush these thoughts aside, convincing themselves we weren't right for each other anyway. It was bound to happen. Stage 3, regret. Here's the twist. As time passes, the person who initiated the breakup often starts to miss their ex more than they expected. If they've jumped into a new relationship, they may realize that their ex was the one who truly loved them. This is when regret starts to set in. They feel a deep sense of loss and begin to question whether they made the wrong decision. They're torn between wanting to reach out and fix things and the fear of rejection or embarrassment. Thoughts like, what if they hate me now? Keep them stuck in a cycle of regret. The psychology behind it. There's a psychological concept called the sunk cost fallacy. The more you invest in something like a relationship, the harder it is to let go. When a relationship ends, all the time, energy, and emotion you poured into it can feel like a waste, making the pain even more intense. Then there's the white bear effect. The more you try not to think about someone, the more they dominate your thoughts. It's like trying to forget a song that's stuck in your head. The harder you try, the more it plays on repeat. So, who regrets more? The person who gets dumped usually goes through the toughest emotional time right after the breakup. But once they push through the worst of it, they're often able to heal and move on. On the other hand, the person who initiated the breakup might feel relieved and excited at first. However, as time passes, they start to experience regret. They realize that letting go of someone who truly loved them was a mistake. What they once thought was liberation starts to feel like longing and eventually remorse. They're left questioning their decision, wondering, why did I do that? If you're struggling with relationship issues, feel free to reach out. I'm here to talk.